change takes place very slowly. I want to kick myself sometimes, but then the word of Jeremiah comes streaking through to me from centuries and centuries ago, and it says, don't quit. Through the Lord's mercies, we are not consumed.
The executive summary of the report was that the fatal shooting of Sam Dubose never should have occurred. And the Cole report concludes with several recommendations. So we will have folks from UC who can tell a lot more about what's been happening in the last year.
And so they asked me to step on as the vice president, and my role would be to serve as a monitor and make sure that the agency was engaging in real reform efforts.
Just last month started my 34th year in this career of mine. Literally 3 to 4 weeks into my time as an administrator, the death of Timothy Thomas occurred, and the reforms that the Cincinnati police, and really the entire city of Cincinnati government, quite frankly, had to undergo, began.
I talk about numbers, I'm a statistician. That's what I do. But each one of these numbers represents an incident where there could be one or more victims. And those victims are somebody's daughter, son, mother, brother, whose life has been permanently changed. I actually projected out what would have happened in 2015 if we had kept on the pace where we were. And we were looking at an over 400% increase in the use of traffic stops. And what did this do to our community, and what disparate impact did it have?
The leadership of the police department previously implemented this traffic plan, which had this disparate impact, and set the events in motion that ended in the tragic death of Mr. Dubose.
This was almost like a runaway train, and now, unfortunately, it took this very tragic death for us to take a real clear look at this train and say, is this what we want for public safety at the university? And the real answer is no. We have a change in mission and scope and leadership. So I still had concerned parents saying, crime's gonna go through the roof. Well, no. In fact, it didn't. And in fact, without using that very aggressive policing strategy, we were still 41% reduction in the number of violent crimes reported. We are using strategies that are both effective at reducing crime, but also equitable and welcomed by the community, so that we don't become an occupying army that's seen as a police department for some but not all.
Cincinnati has become renowned around the country and even beyond that to some extent because of the collaborative agreement that came out of 2001 and the tragedy involving Timothy Thomas. What you see here is the spirit of the collaborative agreement